Good morning, everyone. It's Christine. Happy Friday. Hope you all are doing good. So earlier this year, I have 2 daycare centers. In one of the daycare centers, I put kids on the bus. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's my staff. Well, one morning I had to open super early and I forgot to put 3 kids on the bus. That day, I don't know if I regret it or not regret it, but I forgot to put 3 kids on the bus and I had to get a hold of all the parents. Good morning, Carrie. I had to get a hold of all the parents, the 3 parents, to see if I could take their kids to school. Well, guess what happened after that? They thought my vehicle was a lot more fun than the bus. So for months, I've been hearing about how I needed to take them to school. So I promised them before school was out, I would take them to school. But I had a surprise for them, but they had no idea. So this last Wednesday, I took the kids to school. I got permission from the parents. And so I went to pick them up. Of course, I thought I was running late, but I'm like, school starts later than when the bus picks you up. I've got plenty of time. So I get the kids, and we're on the way to school, and we have a roundabout. And as we're going through the roundabout, the kids are like, donuts! They saw the donut sign in the strip mall. And they're like, can we get donuts? I'm like, sure. What they didn't know is I had already planned on taking them to get donuts because on the way to school. Why not? They think I'm the fun one. So I stopped to get donuts with the kids. So we get out. I kid you not, they were so excited. One almost slammed the door in the face of another kid. And I'm like, you guys, settle down. I know you're excited for me to take you to school. So we go in to go get the donuts. And the funniest conversation started coming up. One of the little girls goes, hey, look, they have Starbucks cappuccino. She's in 2nd grade. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I drink this all the time. I always go to Starbucks. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Then the other little girl goes, hey, I've got orange juice. I can only have orange juice because there's calcium in it. And I'm like, here we go. Now they start talking about orange juice, calcium, Starbucks, coffee, caffeine. Then they start talking about pop on the very top. Orange Crush, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I ain't gotten up to the donut part yet. Then right behind me walks in our photographer who takes all of our school pictures. So she knows all 3 kids. And I'm like, yeah, I'm taking me to get donuts. And I kind of like, didn't tell the parents, but I did tell the parents, but I didn't tell the parents, but I did. And she starts laughing and she goes, oh, I know all the parents, they ain't gonna care. So anyways, she looks at one of the kids and she goes, hey, you got a haircut and it's curly. She's like, do all the girls touch your hair? And he goes, no. And the other 2 girls with me go, yeah, I touched his hair the other day. And she goes, what? And he goes, no, they don't. And she's like, yeah, it's hard. I'm like, he has gel in his hair, girls. So we were laughing about that. Then they go up and they each get their individual donut. And here's me. You guys have a choice, orange juice or apple juice. No coffee. Orange juice or apple juice. So we get back in my car, and as we're walking out, the little girl says to me, hey, I have an idea. And I said, what? We need to stay with you all day at work. You kids, are you kidding me? I have work to do. Oh no, we need to be with you all day. I said, no, you don't. And she goes, we could mentor you. Like, you can mentor us, you could teach us about your business. And I'm like, oh, here they go. They know I'm an entrepreneur. So she was like, I'm serious. You could teach me about your business. And she goes, you know what? I will even let you teach me how to pitch softball. Are you kidding me? I've been at her for a couple months now for me to teach her softball. So now she throws out the softball card. So then I've got the other girl that's in 3rd grade. And I said, you know what? I could teach you too. And she goes, I already know how to play softball. So we get in the car and they're talking all about this. And then the little boy is in the back. And then the other girl goes, well, what would you teach him? And I said, well, I could teach him a little bit of baseball. And he goes, I already know how to pitch. And I'm like, you guys, seriously? Because I know my kids play travel ball. So then we're in the car and we're driving down the street. And I kid you not, they're eating their donuts, they're drinking their drinks. We're halfway to school. And my one little girl goes, my mom's gonna be mad at you. And I'm like, what? My mom is gonna be mad at you. And I'm like, well, why is your mom gonna be mad at me? She goes, I'm not allowed to have donuts Monday through Friday. I'm only allowed to have donuts on weekends. I looked at her and she's halfway through her donut. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you teasing me right now? And she's like, no, I'm serious. I'm not allowed to have donuts during the week. And I'm like, here we go. And she's like, don't worry, Miss Christine. She goes, I won't tell them. I won't tell my parents. And I'm like, no, I'm going to call and tell your parents that you had a donut. I was like, oh, I'm going to be in so much trouble. So that's all happening on this trip to school. And I swear we only have like a 7-minute drive. So we're on the way to school. They're talking about the donuts. They're talking about they're so excited to ride with me. We get there, the Eagles will land. I always call them Eagles. The Eagles are landed. I dropped all 3 off. Now, remind you, when I was in the car, the last 3 minutes, I was sitting there telling them, You gonna be good at school today? You gonna be good at school today? I told them like 10 times. Don't forget your coat. Don't forget your backpack. The first time I checked the kids, one of the kids forgot their backpack. We had to go to the bus barn and get the backpack. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, you better not forget anything. And I'm like, you better be good. I better not find out. So anyways, we leave and I call the mom and I'm like, she's like, everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, but I stopped and got the kids donuts and your child was halfway to school with me and she says, my mom's gonna be mad at you. And I'm like, what? My mom's gonna be mad at you. And she told me that she's not allowed to have donuts Monday through Friday, only on weekends. And her mom busted up laughing. And she goes, Christine, are you kidding me? And I'm like, no, she seriously told me that. And she goes, she eats cereal and cereal has sugar in it. She's gonna be fine. But that little girl is hilarious. She's one of my entrepreneurs. She's the one I bought the entrepreneur book for, but they are always up to something. These kids are always up to something. Oh no, it gets even better. I forgot, 2 minutes before we get to school, the other little girl, my second grader, she's super, super smart, says to me, you know what? If we all have slips for the teachers, like a note that we could give to them, you could come back and pick us up from school. I am like, oh, you guys, you're pushing it right now. I have work to do. But let me tell you, it was fun taking the kids to school. Today's their last day of school, but they're always gonna remember our huge adventure in donuts and juice and me spending time with them and pouring into them. And now, they even said I could teach them softball. So now I can teach my 2 girls how to pitch. So anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing day, amazing weekend, and I want you to pour into the littles. These kids are our future. They need us. And I will talk to you later. Bye.